Now the mics are hot. All right, everybody. I am Shane Belanger for Westerly Life and Westerly Live. Coming to you live from my office in downtown Westerly. We're doing the news report today. Let me go ahead and get some graphics up here. Every day we do this, we keep getting better and better. Keep tightening things up. All right, so as I said, I am Shane Belanger with Westerly Life. We are doing the local news. We do touch on all aspects from the federal, state, and local level. Not much information has changed since the past broadcast that we have been doing, but we are committed to going live every night on a Westerly Live channel as well as Westerly Life. So let's go ahead and start right at the top at the federal level. So we had a record 3.3 million people filed for unemployment claims since this started back on March 15th. Now, with that being said, part of the stimulus package was a huge prop up and boost to unemployment insurance across the entire country. If you are in the restaurant business, you were affected by it, by now you should have applied for unemployment insurance. If you haven't already, make sure you get on that because there is plenty of money coming down from the federal government to help with the unemployment insurance claims that are happening at the state level. We'll get to this more at the state section, but the Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training is being swamped with claims, phone calls, and all of that. But just be aware, please make sure you go ahead and do that. Now, in that stimulus package, of course, there was the one-time payout. Potentially, it will happen again in May. That won't happen for another about 3 weeks. That will be up to $1,200 for individuals and $2,400 for married couples. There will be a stipend per child of $500. Now, those will go out to the direct deposit information on your 2019 federal tax return. The IRS is in charge of passing out these payments. If you have not filed your 2019 taxes yet, they will use the 2018 information. If neither of those options work for you, there will be a website set up by the federal government to help disperse this money so you can input your direct deposit information and or your mailing address. There is a talk of another round of stimulus bills when Congress returns on April 20th. That'll mainly be for infrastructure, but at that point, I mean, that's still 20 days down the road on this curve that we're on, which of course is going like this, and we're just in the beginning stages of it. Now, when they do come back, they will reassess, and they will see what is going on. There are people who are saying $2 trillion wasn't enough. We will find out what is going on. We will get into more of the, actually right now, with the Small Business Association and things that have been happening very rapidly, things that I have noticed that have been happening very rapidly. Things are changing at a lightning fast pace as far as the economy and how the SBA is weighing loans and things like that. They're launching all different kinds of programs. Now, the loans that are being offered right now, there are so many different criteria, but in a nutshell, if you have applied for your economic impact disaster loan and you right now is either declined or you're still waiting or it's being renewed because they've changed the criteria, we'll get into that again, you can apply for the $10,000 emergency fund. Let me get the email. Okay, you can apply to get up to a $10,000 advance on an economic injury disaster loan. This advance may be available even if your EIDL application was declined or is still pending and will be forgiven. They're trying to get that to be used. They've done this, and you're going to get the money, if approved, within 3 business days, direct deposited into your checking account. As you go through the process, it's a streamlined application. As you go through the process at the very end, you're inputting your bank checking account routing information. So this is a great way while you're waiting for that loan to be approved because they're being swamped right now. It's going to take a long time for them to go through these loans applications. That's a way to help get that money. Now, in Rhode Island, what the governor said today in her press conference, this is really good. Now, let's say you're approved for these loans, but now you're waiting to get that money. How can you survive in that waiting period? So what Rhode Island, they've been able to do is and I tried to call them immediately after the press conference, and basically the phone lines were just jammed, and I just kept getting booted out. You can apply for a bridge loan through the state of Rhode Island. That is something the governor and her team have set up. So those are typically a short-term loan to help get you through to the main loan that is coming in. We're going to see more and more of these programs popping up because people right now, it's the first. And we all know on the first, usually the rent is due. So it's the first time this has happened since it started. Some things to help businesses as well as payroll. A lot of these loans are designed with the intent of helping payroll. So make sure you read the fine print, talk to your accountant, apply for everything if you are a business owner that you can apply for. As we've said numerous times, and I keep saying it, your goal should be to survive and weather the storm if you want your business to succeed. As an entrepreneur, the answer to that question should be yes, I want my business to succeed. Take advantage of these programs. Regardless of how you feel about whatever it is, take advantage of these programs. It's a stimulus package for everybody. So please take advantage of those. Let me get back to my notes now. Before I go off on my soapbox. Too many tabs open. Right. Now, one thing I did notice is if you have applied for a loan and you were declined way back 2 weeks ago, the SBA has since rewritten their criteria for loan approval. Now, I found this very interesting. Now, I check my credit score at least once a week. I just want to see what's going on, making sure there's no anomalies, things of that nature. So when I went to check it today, it jumped 50 points from when I checked it last week. Now, I haven't done anything. Nothing. I haven't paid off any crazy bills. Nothing really has changed from then until now. Here's what I think is happening. With the Fair Credit Reporting Act, basically, anybody who applies for a loan, that's why the credit scoring system is there. That is weighed primarily as the main factor. So what was happening with these SBA loans that kept getting denied, and it was a computer denying them at first, because of the credit of the primary applicant. So they were getting kicked out. So then I got an email saying, well, we are reevaluating our credit, blah, 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 blah. My credit score has jumped 50 points. What I think is happening in order to get these loans to be pushed through for business owners, the credit, now this is not science, this is just what I've observed. This probably can't be proven. They've adjusted their weighting with the credit reporting company, so everybody's credit score is going to go up. Check your credit score. I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. So with the SBA loosening their restrictions, with credit scores going up across the board, now they're going to meet in the middle. So people who typically wouldn't be approved for a loan, whether it be with the SBA or your bank or a credit line increase on your credit card, what I'm thinking is going to happen in the next month or two, those people will be approved. Am I right? Maybe. Am I wrong? That's a possibility. But that's just what I've been observing with my own finances and everything I'm reading. So my point being, apply for a loan, even if you don't think you're going to get it. If it's going to help your business survive, just check it out. Okay. Now going to the state level, as of April 3rd, which will be this weekend, state beaches and parks will be closed until further notice. Now what I took away from the press conference yesterday, closed meaning Facilities will be closed, bathrooms, things of that nature, and no parking. You can still go walk on the beach. This is what the governor said. Just do not congregate in groups larger than 5. And they're hoping by closing them and no parking, that will alleviate the congregation of people. We'll see how that works. We all know how things go. And the schools will continue with distance learning until the end of April. At that point, they will reassess and see where we are on the curve. If we're approaching the peak, if we're on the downturn, we don't know yet. Now, we did talk about the unemployment insurance. Please apply. Take advantage of that. Also, remember, there is SNAP available as well. That stimulus package is going to go to those programs as well. So if money's tight and food's going to be an issue, go to the Health Source, our portal, to apply for everything. And go ahead and apply for SNAP. That could help out with your food bill. Keep trying with the unemployment insurance with the call center, as well as the website. The system is not designed for the amount of claims that are going through it right now and being handled, so keep trying. Do not give up. Some other great things. Now, there was one of the biggest worries and fears of the distance learning was that kids would be left behind due to lack of technology, be it a computer, tablet, what have you, or not having access to the internet. So what Governor Raimondo and her team were able to do, now if you are with the big 4 cell phone providers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or Sprint, you can now access the hotspot on your phone for free if you already have that as part of your plan. Now, what you can do with this, those hotspots do go pretty far. Let's say your neighbor, they don't have internet, something like that. You can turn on your hotspot. You can help out your neighbor. So know that that is available. That'll be available until May 18th at no additional cost. Now, for a landline, what Cox Communications is doing for qualifying low-income families, 2 free months of internet service and then $10 per month after that. That is huge. So that will get you, if the distance learning goes into May and potentially June, which I do think it will happen that way, you will be able to keep up with your classmates. Your children will be able to keep up with their classmates as far as the distance learning is concerned. We had a great interview with Dr. Mark Garceau, the superintendent of schools for Westerly. You can check that out on Westerly Life in our feed. We discussed distance learning, how it's working, the success they're having with it. So I highly recommend you check that out. The governor also said that they are now testing 1,000 Rhode Islanders per day. Now, these drive-up testing facilities are located at URI, CCRI, and RIC. They are run by the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island National Guard. Oh, big thing with this, do not just show up to these testing facilities. You need to have an appointment. Now, the way you get an appointment is first you see your primary care physician, and then they will assess the situation and make the appointment for you. If you show up without an appointment, you'll be asked to leave. But not only that, you're disrupting the whole flow because you got in line, you didn't have an appointment. It's just going to mess everything up. So please follow protocol during this. We're also going, now that we're testing 1,000 Rhode Islanders per day, we're going to see a spike in confirmed cases. That's just the nature of the beast. You start testing for it, you're going to find more of them. Now, Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott was not speaking today, and we were assured that she was okay and healthy, just had something else going on. The gentleman who was speaking, he said as the testing goes and people are identified who have it, the majority of the cases will not be that bad. But the fact is you're still carrying the virus and you still can pass that along to someone who could be more seriously affected than you are. So this is extremely important. Knowledge is power. If you know that you are carrying the virus, you can quarantine yourself. Evictions, you will not be evicted until April 17th. Courts are closed. So if you're worried about the rent, today was the 1st, and you haven't spoken to your landlord, number one, call your landlord. They want communication from you. We're all in the same boat. Contact them, see what you can work out with them. Most 9 times out of 10, actually almost 10 times out of 10, they're going to work with you, especially during the crisis that's happening right now. So contact them. If things get even worse, the governor, she assured that after April 17th, they will have something in place to help both the tenant and the landlord in these situations. So that's one less thing you have to worry about, is being evicted. Utility, water, and sewer will not be shut off until at least April 15th. That's 2 more weeks. And she went on to say, and this is a great point to make, if you can afford to pay your bills, just pay them, because everybody needs some money coming in. I'm working with my clients big time because we're all trying to get through this together. So just communication is the biggest thing. You have to communicate. Okay, we all talked. In Rhode Island, we have 77 new confirmed cases. As I said, that number is probably going to spike and continue to rise with the testing that we are doing right now. We have a total of 565 cases in Rhode Island. Now, Governor Raimondo did sign an executive order. You can read the full executive order if you go to the state website, and everything is posted right there for you to read. Basically, it covers staying and working from home, reducing the size of gatherings to 5 people. Excuse me. And basically, retail businesses, what's considered essential, not essential. For the most part, everything is shut down. If you do not need the product to live your life, chances are the store is going to be closed down. Everyone's hair is getting longer. We all need haircuts. We all know that. It's just the way it's going to be right now. Quarantine for all travelers, still in effect. We've been talking about this a lot over the past week. If you're coming from out of state, that's any state coming into Rhode Island, you are now required to quarantine yourself in your home for 14 days. That's no longer a suggestion. That's now a requirement. And we talked about all of the loans available for businesses. Take advantage of all those things that are out there. The town hall is closed for public access without an appointment still until further notice. The Westerly Public Library, of course, is closed until further notice. That will be all programs associated with that as well. For more detailed info, go to westerlylibrary.org to find out exactly what is going on. Also, the book return, that is closed down 100%. Hold on to the books. They are waiving late fees, things like that, so don't worry about that. Just hold on to all of your items that you checked out from the library over 2 weeks ago. There will be a local press conference at the town hall this Friday, April 3rd at 3 p.m. Westerly Life, we will be there to live stream it. So please do not show up to the town hall. Stay at home, wherever you're going to be. Watch it on your device, throw it on the big screen, and we'll get all the latest information we're going to have the people who've been at these press conferences informing us and keeping us up to date of everything that is going on. And I do say this because it's important every single time. We do not want to have another disaster on our hands. Talking about flushing wipes down the toilet. So please, flushing wipes, paper towels, and similar products down toilets will clog sewers and cause backups and overflows at wastewater treatment facilities, creating an additional public health risk in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. So please throw those away in the trash. Do not flush them down the toilets. And some good news. One thing, we've had a lot of people tuning into our live streams on Westerly Live. Thank you very much. We're having a lot of fun doing these streams. A lot of them have to do basically with infotainment. It's get a little bit of news, get some entertainment, and they keep growing. And so tonight we're going to have, after the news, we're going to have the social distance show with Ben Barber. That's going to be at 7. Ask Caswell is at 8 o'clock tonight. And you never know. On Westerly Live, you could tune in late night. You might catch a random late night show to watch. It happened last night. It was actually kind of entertaining. there's a lot of local talent, great talent, who they have nothing better to do, which is great. We all have nothing better to do. Let's create some entertainment for everybody. So definitely tune in and check that stuff out. Now, this weekend, because the Nick Bossy show was such a huge success last weekend, we're doing it again this weekend. We have 2 new bands, Friday and Saturday night, both starting at 9 after Caswell's show on Westerly Live. On Friday night, it's Rockin' On. This is from their Facebook page. New England's one-of-a-kind rock cover band, Rockin' On, is a talented group of 5 who play a great range of music from classic rock to party rock to country, grunge, and more. That's Friday night, and yes, it says 5, but we are doing our part. We are keeping the total amount of people to 5. So the band will be pared down for that evening's performance. And the same on Saturday night as well, because it would be me streaming, the sound engineer, and then the band. So we're going to limit that to 5, like we're supposed to be doing. And then on Saturday night at 9 o'clock, again following Caswell's show, is Bulletproof. Bulletproof is a New England-based band playing modern country. So why are we doing these free shows for you? Just to raise spirits. It's local. It's something new. It's something different. They're getting very popular now. We're seeing more and more music acts going live, from big-name bands to local. What we had last Monday was Perks and Corks. They had their open mic night, but virtual. It was actually really cool. So we're seeing a lot of creativity and a lot of talent as these live streams keep being produced. All right. I'm having some text messages coming in. I'm reading them all. As I should have turned it off before I went live. Okay, so that's happening this Saturday. So of course, get some takeout from your favorite restaurant. Get some beer, some wine, some drinks. Sit back, relax, throw it on the big screen. Just have a good time. That's all we're asking. Just relax and have a good time. And both of those concerts this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, will be sponsored by Mia's Cafe. So definitely check out miaspt.com. That's their website. And you can find out the to-go menu, takeout menu that they're doing for the pandemic that is happening. Of course, they cannot do dine-in service right now. So they are doing takeout and curbside to-go. And of course, we are doing our part at Nomad Web Solutions to help out local restaurants. Ordering online is a big thing right now. It helps out the restaurant, takes pressure off of the staff, off of the phone, especially right now when all you're doing is fielding phone calls for takeout. What if you get your orders via the internet? So what we've done is we also design apps, and we can build you an online ordering system using your app. Building an app so people can use their phones to order some food for your restaurant right on their phone. That order will print directly to the line, and they will pay right in their phone. So no exchanging of money, very simple. We're waiving our design fee on that. All you're responsible for is the monthly hosting charge and the various other charges that are associated with an app, the Play Store, Apple Store, things like that. So that is still going. All right, I'm using the microphone built into the Mevo right now. Let me turn it down a little bit. All right, for you live streamers out there, always make sure your microphone batteries are charged before you go live. So one of these battery systems just died out on me. Good thing we're at the end of our show. So I do want to end on a personal note, as I always do. Yes, we're all feeling overwhelmed right now. There's a lot going on. The uncertainty that's out there, there's a lot to consider as we keep moving forward. Meditation is huge. I highly recommend meditation. Google Headspace is the app that I
downloaded to learn how to meditate. And it will change your outlook, it will change your life almost immediately from your first meditation. I highly recommend it, so check that out tonight. And as always, stay safe, stay strong, remain calm, use the rational part of your brain, and we'll get through this together. We're all in the same boat. There's a lot going on. So, on that note, always make sure your batteries are charged. And for Westerly Life, I'm Shane Belanger, reminding you to enjoy your